Well, I finally did it. I got my working Samsung S5. I got the display swapped out. There were some flaws in it. You can probably see it right here and up this side. When you're peeling off the gasket, if you don't get it hot enough, it'll peel the black masking off the back of the display glass and it leaves it scarred like that. It doesn't change how it operates, it just doesn't look as good. And I'll explain some of that here in a little bit. Here's the other display. What I did was, this was a T-Mobile phone I had that went bad when one of their updates came down, updated the phone, and it started running so hot it wouldn't stay running at all. So I got another S5 and switched over to Verizon. So anyway, this display that was from this phone originally, you see the two cracks right across here? I rolled over it with my creeper. I was under the truck, it slipped out of my pocket, I rolled over it. Now it only cracked the glass in the front, it didn't crack the display underneath. And so I had a choice to make. Do you buy the glass kit where you scrape all of this off in 1,000 pieces and then glue the new glass on? Or do you take the entire display off of the old phone and take the display that works off of this one and swap them, which is what I did. Now, the flaw is, like I described the issue here, it lifted some of the black masking. So if I had to do it again, I would buy the kit that comes with the glass and just scrape it off. It comes off, I don't know, people use credit cards, use all kinds of things to scrape it off, and then you have to glue it back in, and the glue has to cure with UV light, which means either sunlight or, even incandescent bulbs have, light bulbs have have UV light, radiating from them. So there's a lot of ways to cure the glue. It's not the end of the world, but this one, taking the whole phone apart, it took me between 3 and 4 hours. Now, I didn't buy a toolkit online. All I used was 2 old guitar picks. Well, now they're old. They were perfect before, but they got hot and a little warped and got adhesive stuck to them and all that. So a little alcohol and it'll clean them up. But that's all it took. The way I got it in, if you watch the videos, there's 2 very popular videos online. One for just the glass and one for the whole display. And one of them says, oh, it just takes 8 minutes. I mean, the video quality is really good, but that statement's pure BS. So the way I got them off with just a guitar pick is, once you heat up the perimeter with your heat gun, then you take and you push the guitar pick against this. It's kind of a chrome looking thing, but it's actually plastic, and you shove it in there and it'll pull out a little bit, and you work it gently under, and you don't shove it in that far, an 1/8 of an inch or so, and then you start working across and breaking loose the adhesive, and you have to keep going round and around with your heat gun. You have to keep it hot. In fact, I kept it hot that it was hot enough that it was hard to hold. Anyway, this one works now. Works perfect. This is the old display. The display doesn't really matter what phone you pull it out of, what carrier you have. But, the only flaw, like I showed you, is that part of the display. Otherwise, it works perfect, and I'm awful happy about that. So, one of the tricks you have to be careful of is when you're pulling the display off, follow the instructions. One of them shows you pull it off real slow, you work down the sides, and you just keep tension on it and stuff like that. You got to watch out for the ribbon cable underneath, and you got to watch out for your button. Yeah, see, mine's loose. It's not stuck down like it should be, but that's all I could get done, That's why I think the glass only would be a better deal. I just happen to own a spare old phone, so that's why I did it this way. But I wouldn't do it that way again in the future. If I cracked just the glass, I would swap out just the glass, because that means you don't have to take the phone apart, if I recall correctly. Here's the little holder that goes underneath the button and glues it to the back of the display. This is the one out of this phone. It's got adhesive on it and black masking from the back and everything. You can see here, let's see if I can show you guys this. You see how it's the black masking's right here, then all of a sudden it stops. You can see all the kinds of stuff inside there. That black masking is, you know, it's not adhered that well to the glass. So when you're trying to get the adhesive gasket off, which is this guy, you have to heat it up really well, and I did, and it still came, it didn't come apart all that well. So this is what I got. These are $2 a piece off of eBay, so I bought 3 of them just in case, and it worked fine. They peel off, and you got to make sure you get the orientation correctly, and the way you do that is these holes up here can only go one way. You want to put them over. You actually flip the display over and add this, apply this to the display once you've cleaned it up. What I used was an old Exolite screwdriver, and there's an area in there where the old gasket sits, and you have to heat it up and gently work it off. Just be careful. Follow the instructions, but just know that it's not an 8-minute job. There's not a chance in hell it's an 8-minute job. Yeah, see that switch floating around is not a good idea. But it's all I got. It makes my phone work. If this goes south, I'll have to buy another phone. Anyway, this is just what I wanted to show you. I got it done, and the whole phone is sealed together with double-sided high-temperature adhesive. That's what the whole phone is sealed together with. And you can buy some kits, they come with pieces that you cut up with a knife. This one comes up with a whole gasket, and it worked good. It was okay. I think it'll help keep the integrity of the water-resistant seal a little better, but you know, the bottom line is you want your phone to work. And this obviously has a urethane cover on it, and I can tell you this urethane cover has saved these phones. I've never cracked a display until I rolled over it. I've dropped them out of my pocket numbers of times, and a good quality one, don't get a $5 one, get a $35 one. It'll save your bacon. Anyway, that's it for now. I did it. I didn't do it perfect. It was my first time, but if you have the glass broken and the display's okay, just remove the glass. That's my recommendation after doing this. If I could do it over, in fact, I will do it over. This display still works. It's just that the glass is cracked. I'll order a kit one of these days, and when you start scraping this off, it just breaks into 1,000 little tiny shards. And I'll scrape it all off, clean it, and I'll put down a new piece of glass. So then I have another replacement display, a whole unit, and I'll have a backup to the backup. Anyway, that's it for now. See you, bye.